What's up guys, I'm Tomy TNF Adventures, and today we're going to be doing a little bit of a different video. I am going to be talking about my favourite episodes from the first 5 series of Thomas and Friends. Also, I'm going to be talking about why I like these episodes. Also, no copyright infringement intended, I just really love this show and I have since childhood, and this is to celebrate its first 5 seasons. So, starting off with Season 1, my favourite episode is The Flying Kipper. I loved this Henry-centred episode as it has an amazing crash and also just a brilliant story on its own. Also, I just really loved it. It was always my favourite in the series, and it's always the one that I go back to and really enjoy from Season 1. Jumping ahead to Season 2, and my favourite episode is Edward's Exploit. I feel like this one has the best character development, especially for Edward, who I felt was a really underrated character and deserved a little more screen time, which he did get in Season 2, thank goodness. I also really enjoyed the whole part after Edward's breakdown to him getting to the station. Even watching that now, I sit there and smile because it just gives you a nice, warm feeling inside, and it's just lovely. For Season 3, it is Gordon and the Famous Visitor. I absolutely love this episode. Gordon's character is just hilariously sort of pompous in this episode, and it's nice to see him get a comeuppance and finally learn a lesson about kind of discriminating engines just because of how they look, and it's a nice allegory for something like that. Season 4, and here we have Paint Pots and Queens. This episode is set after 2 of my favourites, which as you can see are Off the Rails and Down the Mine. Now, the one thing that does slightly annoy me about this episode is it's set 3 seasons later when it takes place on the same day as those episodes, and they were really late in adapting it from the book. But I still enjoy it nonetheless if I can overlook the timeline issue. And Gordon and Thomas having this kind of alliance is just a really, I think a really interesting idea that I really believe should have been explored further if the episodes kind of, things from one episode kind of trailed on to another. I also like the fact that instead of naming the queen at the time, which would have dated the episode, this just makes it seem like it could have been any generic queen, and not specifically Queen Elizabeth II, who would have been, at the time, the Queen. And our last episode, Season 5, is Duncan Gets Spooked. Now, I have a little bit of an interesting history with this episode, as it actually did spook me. It was the first time that I ever didn't watch an episode of Thomas. This episode scared me so much as a young child that I skipped over it every time I watched the DVD because it would frighten me to the point of turning it off and going to the next episode, just so that I wouldn't have to watch it. I think it was the fact that it was just the thought of an engine basically dying, I guess. It kind of put like a bad taste in my mouth, and it completely threw me off at the time as a youngster. And it still remains, and because of that history and the nostalgia, it remains one of my favourite episodes from Season 5 to date. Okay guys, so that was my episodes from the first 5 seasons of Thomas and Friends that were my favourites. I hope you guys enjoyed, and also leave your favourite episodes from Seasons 1 to 5 in the comments below, and I will read every single one of them. Because I'm really interested in what people's favourite episodes are. Anyway guys, I will see you later, and I hope you enjoyed the rest of the videos uploaded on this channel. Bye!